Daz Dillinger, Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back. It's been a while. Welcome to It's Been a While. I am Free Tillman, the only guy on the internet that doesn't know everything. This is a series where I talk about albums that I loved as a kid, but for whatever reason I stopped listening to them. And today we're talking about Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back by Daz Dillinger. Before I continue, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I release a new video. And leave a comment. Now that I got that out the way, time for Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back. In 1998, things were looking pretty grim for Death Row Records. Tupac had been killed, Suge Knight was in jail, Nate, Snoop, and the Lady of Rage all left after releasing their albums, and Corrupt left without even releasing an album. Daz Dillinger was the last man standing until 1999 when he eventually left, but not before releasing his debut solo album, Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back. So Nate Dogg's G-Funk's Classics Volume 1 and 2 was supposed to be released on Death Row Records in 1997, but due to legal problems, he couldn't release it until 1998 on Breakaway, so technically he never released a full album on Death Row Records. I don't remember what made me pick this album up. I think I was just curious to see what Death Row was going to do next. When I look at the track listing, I can hear most of the songs in my head, and I remember really liking it. Speaking of picking up this album, it is currently out of print, and the only way you can listen to it now is on iHeartRadio and YouTube. And also, there are a lot of songs on this album, so I'm not going to go through every single one. I'm just going to highlight the ones that I like. Okay, I think that's all the disclaimers. Let's get into it. The album starts out with gangbanging ass criminals featuring Corrupt, Superfly, Trey D, Badass, and Technique. It takes a lot of guts to start out your debut album with a 5-minute posse cut with a 2-minute intro and no chorus, but Daz doesn't seem to have any reservations about it. This song is also the first time Daz refers to himself as Daz Dillinger, and I get it. That nigga Daz is a pretty hard sell for radio stations. Speaking of radio stations, It Might Sound Crazy featuring Too Short is one of the 2 singles that were released from this album and was one of the few songs not produced by Daz. Instead, it was produced by Superfly. It feels like a raunchier version of Let's Play House. The lines, "My girl paged me again and again and again as I'm digging out her mother's best friend, asking about my kids, saying they're getting big," may be one of the funniest things Daz has ever said. The outro of the song where he starts talking to the pussy is a close second though. Our Daily Bread is straight West Coast b-boy spitting with him and Corrupt. Corrupt even takes a swipe at the Source magazine for good measure. And California is another single from the album, and it sounds kind of forced and out of place in the context of the album. I know I said it's a single, but the video they shot for it was only released promotionally, and so was the hard to find 12-inch single. In short, Death Row did not promote this album at all. The song is also the first song on the album without any rap features, and Daz is not exactly spitting hot fire. The next song, Initiated, has 2 versions. The one from this album features Tupac, The Outlaws, and Corrupt, and the other one features Tupac and the Boot Camp Clique. The Boot Camp Clique version was released on the remix album New Mix Classics Volume 2 and was produced by Jake One. And I had to double check to make sure it was actually produced by Jake One because it is not good. The version on Daz's album is much better. This is also the first song to be completed for the album, obviously done in 1996 when Tupac was still alive. Or was it? Oh No featuring Trey D and J Money is one of my favorite songs from this album, and this track has one of the most aggressive beats on this project, equipped with probably too many gun sounds, but everyone shows up to rap. Speaking of showing up to rap, Daz handles the title track himself for the second and only time on the entire project, and he does not disappoint. OG featuring his cousin Snoop and Nate Dogg find the guys detailing how they came to enter the life that they rap about in vivid detail. It's a song about lost innocence, and it's easy to overlook how traumatic a life growing up where they did actually was. Baby Mama Drama finds Daz talking about just that. I'm not sure I can fully condone a guy getting mad because his baby mama filed for child support, but I will say that he does talk about it with a level of hurt and sensitivity that you don't often hear much when this topic is brought up. The song Only For You has a very special place in my heart because at the very end where Daz says, "Biatch, I kissed my first girlfriend." True story. Yeah, this album is as good as I remember it. There's a little filler near the end, and at an hour and 15 minutes is probably too long, but all in all, it's still a great listen. We'll see what Snoop does with Death Row, but Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back signaled the end of an era. We were only a year away from the South putting hip-hop in a stranglehold, and Death Row wouldn't release another batch of original songs until 2005 when Corrupt joined the label again. Daz really is one of the best producers of his era, and this album proved that there was a lot of untapped talent at Death Row before it became a Tupac distribution company. So when's the last time you heard Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back? Are you still bumping it to this day? I'm going to keep talking about albums until I run out. Until then, I am Free Tillman, the only guy on the internet that doesn't know everything. Peace.